What's up, everyone? I'm Charles Medley, and welcome back to my Random Tales. This story is going to be all about a woman-pig hybrid something. I'm going to call her Twit, because she is a twit. And, you know, she's like, it's very evident that there's nothing wrong with her. There's no, like, birth defects or anything like that. She is just a very, very bad woman. And she is so bad, so caught up in herself, so self-absorbed and food-absorbed. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to show any pictures because I don't want to face any lawsuits. This woman is so bad. She doesn't have any intentions on being good. She's a twit. She is so self-absorbed that she hated her way to insanity, to where she doesn't even think anymore. I mean, like, to randomly quit her job when she's already on her last penny and expecting to still live in that apartment and not end up out in the streets. I'm not saying that she did that. I'm just saying she would do something like that. So where to begin? All right, Twit was adopted. Her parents were obviously not fit, ended up being adopted by a really good farm family. They made her do chores. Do your chores and then go hang out with friends, have a good time. She was homeschooled too, so she didn't have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn to catch a bus or whatever, and she didn't have to worry about all the stress of being in school. What more can you ask for? All right, coming from someone who was homeschooled, honestly, I should have called CPS on my parents. Honestly, like wow. Anyways, given the generation that we're living in, I would actually highly recommend parents homeschooling their children now, after what schools are now forcing kids to believe and all that stuff. And teachers can't even do their job correctly anymore due to politics. I'm sorry. This is not a political channel. I'm just saying it's just bullshit what's going on in schools. So parents, I would recommend sending your kids to either a Christian school or homeschooling them. But yeah, she was homeschooled, and her life was not bad. She wasn't a spoiled child, and she definitely wasn't some Cinderella either. Like, her and her adopted siblings alike had to do the same chores, had to wake up at the same time, at the same hour, do the chores, feed the chickens, feed the goats, the cows, and all that shenanigans. They live on a farm. Their parents can't do everything by themselves. Their parents are older. And when I say adopted siblings, her adopted parents' biological children. Anyways, they had no problem doing any of this. They had no problem taking care of the farm. No problem. Her and her biological brother are the only two that really had the problem. So here she is, not even a spoiled rotten brat, behaving like a spoiled rotten brat. She would get mouthy with her parents, and her parents would punish her. They'd discipline her. Well, she meets herself a really good man. A man who's got his whole life planned out. And, till this day, executed. Yes, he's got his whole life ahead of him. Great credit, great this, great that. Only at the age of 17. She was 18. He was 17. And he had everything together. And it all collapsed when they started dating. So, what would happen is she would randomly call him. Just randomly. And he would answer, hello? Twit? Twit? Twit, why are you crying? Talk to me, please. And it has to do with her parents disciplining her, because obviously she was a lazy... Ooh, I don't want to say too many bad words. But obviously she wasn't fulfilling her end of the bargain, and she was facing consequences for it. And if you're wondering what all that squeaking in the background is, I am doing laundry. She took advantage of him. She took advantage of him all the time. Took advantage of his money and all that stuff. She became really, really, really clingy. To the point where, I mean, at their church, they had a lock-in party, right? And they spent the entire night together. So what? The next morning, it's time for everyone to get their things and go home. And that's exactly what he was about to do. And she's like, I'm gonna call him Devin, her boyfriend. So, you know, she's like, but Devin, I want you to stay with me the whole day. And he's like, no, come on, Twit. You know, I was with you all night. You know, I got things to do. I gotta take care of some things throughout the day. But Devin. And so he just kind of, made it clear to her, look, we already spent the night together. I have to go home and take care of some things. All right? She buries her head into her arm of the church pew and starts crying. And she won't move. And he's trying to move her like, Twit, come on, Twit. And she just won't move. And her friends, her friends who were, honestly, they were also very sick of her crap. They're standing around her like, are you kidding me right now? I am so sick of your crap. Look at you. What are you doing? Move. Freaking move. You spent the whole night with him. He's got things to do throughout his day. Get up. And she would not move. Talk about secondhand embarrassment. I mean, quite honestly, I could imagine just the secondhand embarrassment being more embarrassing than firsthand embarrassment of showing up to school in your underwear, which is a dream that everybody has. I don't understand why we have those dreams. My dreams have been promoted to taking a dump in public where there's hot girls around watching. Why? So around the middle of the day, Devin's friend was talking to him, and he was just getting real serious this time, and he says, look, dude, this is ridiculous. She will not leave you alone. You're not a free man anymore. You're miserable. Look what she's doing to you all the time. And he broke up with her. And guess what? By the end of the day, he got back with her because she manipulated him. Big time. I mean, she had him wrapped around her slimy little finger. Slimy, squishy finger. Brown because she digs in her butt all the time. Yeah. Another story for another time. Let's fast forward to the wedding. They got married. Devin's best man was there in support, knowing full well that it was just going to crash and burn. I think everyone at that wedding knew that their marriage was going to crash and burn. There was no stopping it. They had already broken up twice before their wedding, and she even broke up with him at one point because she liked some guy that she barely even knew. I mean, she was literally the worst kind of human being you could imagine. And I might make this a season too. I might make a season out of this to dig a little deeper into who Twit really is as a person. But I'm going to cover in this video, in this episode, I'm going to cover some very dishonorable situations that define her as the person that she is. So, in her head, this is what she's thinking. I got him. He's mine. He ain't going anywhere. I can do whatever I want, whoever I want, whenever I want to. He ain't going nowhere. All I gotta do is just cry, and he'll be right there at my side. He'll hold me in his arms, and this, that, and the other. I got him. And she did for a little over 2 years of their miserable marriage of constant fighting, and her making him stand in the bathroom to watch her take a dump. Yeah, she would make him stand in the bathroom to watch her take a dump, and she'd start doing all this cute talk like, oh, I'm just so lonely. I just want you here with me. It's disgusting. If it doesn't get any more cringe than that, let me tell you about a time, actually, this is very serious. And I just want to tell you right now, if you know anyone who is abusing their animals, abusing their pets, then you need to report them immediately. Because what she did was absolutely abominable. And she was stupid enough to text message this information to a mutual friend of hers and Devin's. She abused her kitten. It wasn't just like slapping him or anything. It was sexual. She did something to her kitten, something that people usually do alone in their bedroom to themselves, but she did it to a cat. There you go. This is why I'm calling her Twit, because she was stupid enough to brag about it in a text message. It wasn't a confession. It was a boast. She was curious and wanted to know what it was like. All right, so I'm going to try to brighten things up just a little more now, as if this whole subject was even bright in the first place. So she did that. I mean, this is just how bad she was as a person. So, I mean, let's talk about Eric real quick. If you thought Eric was bad, this woman makes him look like a saint. This woman did not take care of herself. She did not eat healthy. She never exercised. Nothing. And now she's so big, she can barely fit inside of a car. She has all kinds of health issues. She's very undesirable. She cheated on her husband. I mean, Twit, why'd you do that? The only man that ever loved you and you cheated on him. I don't know why you did that. Because now you're divorced. Yes, they got divorced. And you have nobody and you have nothing. She did not like being called out on her bullcrap, just like Eric, you know? Eric was definitely one of those people where, you know, if you can't take the heat, you need to get up out the kitchen. Because, I mean, life is full of criticism, and Eric could not take the heat, but he didn't leave the kitchen. She also did not leave the kitchen. No, instead, she threw fuel on the fire, and she heated things up even more. It made things more miserable for herself to a point where she was begging for forgiveness.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I promise I'll never do it again.
And then, like, a month later, she does it again. She backstabs her friends. She expects to be everybody's best friend. She has to be number one priority. And if she gets even the slightest hint that she's not, it doesn't matter how long she's known you for. It doesn't matter. If she's known you for only like a couple of days, she better be your best friend or else. And she will spread some very awful rumors about you, things that are not true. She will take your secrets that she promised she would never tell anybody, and she will tell everybody. And she won't only tell everybody, she'll add to it. So if you tell her that when you were a child, your mom met a boyfriend and he looked at you funny and it made you feel very uncomfortable, she'll tell you that you were having relations with this man behind your mother's back. And she won't acknowledge the part where you were a child. She'll say you were roughly in your late teens to early adult years when you did this. She is that bad. She did this to her best friends. Best friends. She messed with so many people's lives and reputations that she's got nobody to fall back on anymore. And believe it or not, she still hits up Devin till this very day. She'll like randomly call him. And she called him one day for closure. Closure? Didn't you get closure like many years ago? When you cheated on him multiple times and tried to destroy his life? She did too, man. Like, let me tell you what Devin has done for Twit. He has reconnected her with her biological family. He has given her job opportunities. He helped her get a job. He helped her get on her own. He helped her get her life started and get it going. I mean, just him going many lengths to reconnect her with her biological family. That's a great man. And that's a man who really loves his woman. And all she ever did was talk bad about him. She badmouthed him. Complain. She said to Devin's best friend at the time, who became his best man, oh, you're hot, mutual friend is hot, and Devin, well, Devin's just Devin. What, ugly? The man that you're dating? Ugly? Is that the word you're looking for? She went from this Mennonite, this farm girl Mennonite. I mean, she knew the Bible like the back of her hand. I mean, I, as a Christian who loves Jesus, loves the Bible, I can't even come close to, till this very day, can't even come close to how much she knew about the Bible. How did she go from that to now being into witchcraft? No self-respect whatsoever, no respect for anybody in the name of humanity whatsoever. All in it for herself. Narcissistic, and I would even say sociopathic too. How do you go from this to that? Or from that to this? Some mutual friends and Twit, they got into a fight. And they were fed up with her bullcrap. And what she did was tried leaving them a gift. A pity gift, I guess. A pity me gift. Now, she stole this idea from somebody who actually gave that same person a gift. It was a birthday gift. Him and another mutual friend. There's a lot of mutual friends, all right? So just bear with me. Him and another mutual friend got into a fight. He said some awful things about that mutual friend, and the mutual friend didn't deserve that. Well, about a year passed, and the mutual friend knew that he had a birthday coming up, so he bought him a gift. Because he knows that he didn't have much at home. So he bought him a pretty decent gift. It was thoughtful. Well, she tried doing the same thing, only this was like an overnight thing. She leaves coupons under his windshield wiper. She leaves coupons under him and his wife's windshield wipers. They go outside and they find these coupons. They're like, what? Who gave us all this? What? They're coupons. That's not a gift. That's like an insult or something. That's like a, hey, I don't need these. You can make use of them or something. I don't know. Like, coupons? What? What? So there was a bit of a texting back and forth between the two, and you know, like, look, you know, that was bogus what you said to us. You know how you treated us. That was bogus. And so she replies,
I just want you to know I'm really hurting right now. I don't know what I did to deserve this. I hope you enjoy the coupons.
That fight only lasted for like a week, and because they were friends with Devin, and this was when they were still married, because they were friends with Devin, they continued putting up with her, you know, making amends and all that crap. I'm a little bit everywhere with this story because, I mean, there is so much to tell. I mean, I would say, if anything, this is just like an overall intro to a very, very long series, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to get into a super long series about someone who honestly doesn't deserve that much time. Eric was in great deserving of all that time because he is a somewhat classy person when you meet him, and you have to really get to know him before you realize how much of a piece of trash he really is. You know, Twit, no, she's just an all in all. If you want to be anything human in life, just don't be anything like her. So here she is. She is divorced, has nobody, no boyfriend, no husband, no friends. She has nobody. She lives her life on first impressions, meeting new people, being cool with them for a couple of months. They find out how bad she really is as a person, and they're like, to hell with you. Screw you. Screw that. Screw any of that. I want nothing to do with that. This isn't an educational video. This is straight up entertainment, basically. I mean, this is a use your common sense and be nothing like her. So that's all the time I have for you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click the notifications for further updates on my content. All right. I hope you all had a great day, because it would suck if you didn't. And
I hope you enjoy the coupons.
God bless.